Good afternoon, all of you. Today, we have discussed about single phase fully controlled converter using R load. In last class, we have discussed about single phase half control converter RL load. The main objective of today's topic is nothing but single phase fully controlled converter and its function and types of single phase full control converter and circuit diagram and operation of single phase fully control converter with resistance load and its derivation, output voltage and output current. This is the main objective. Single phase full control converter. A full control converter produce to load current pulse during the 1/2 cycle of supply voltage. A full control converter produce to load current pulse during the 1 cycle of supply voltage. 1 full cycle, that is the positive cycle and negative cycle. A half-wave control converter produce only one output current and output voltage during the 1 complete cycle. That is the difference between the full control converter and half control converter. Hence, the average output voltage of full control converter is more than half wave control converter. In full wave control converter, output voltage and output current produce 2 pulses during the only one complete cycle, during the only one complete supply voltage. A half wave control converter, in half wave control converter produce 2 output pulse during one complete cycle. That is the one complete supply voltage, one cycle. Hence, the output voltage and output current in full wave control converter is increases compared to half wave control converter. This is the waveform for full wave and half wave. During the positive half cycle, the output voltage is produced like this, and during the negative half cycle also the output pulse is produced in this direction. This is a half wave. During the positive half cycle, it produced only one cycle during the complete one cycle. During the negative half cycle, there is no output voltage. Output voltage is 0 from pi to 2 pi, and alpha to pi it produce the output voltage in half wave control converter. This is the difference between the full wave control converter and half wave control converter. In full wave control converter, to produce the 2 half cycle, complete one cycle, produce the 2 half cycle is produced. So output is the output voltage is the more than half wave. Full wave control converter output voltage is more than half wave control converter. The type of single phase fully control converter. Types of single phase full control converter. The types of full control converter. First one is the uncontrolled converter. Second one is the half control converter. Third one is the full control converter. These are the types of single phase full control converter. The types of single phase full control converter: uncontrolled converter and half control converter, full control converter. Uncontrolled converter means here there is no here conversion is possible from AC to DC, but the uncontrolled, the output voltage is not controllable. Here output voltage is not controllable. Here uncontrolled converter we have to using the diode only. In uncontrolled converter we have to using diode only. Here we have to use the device, the diode. In half control converter, you have to control the output voltage. You have control the output voltage only positive half cycle, one positive half cycle or negative half cycle. So here we have to use the only thyristors, and full control converter. In full control converter, here we have to use the more than two thyristors, so it can be possible by using the more than two thyristors in the form of bridge, so it is called as a full control converter. Full control converter, you have to use the only thyristor, you can use the only thyristors. This is the types of single phase full wave control converter. A full wave control converter. This is the circuit diagram for full wave control converter. It consists of four thyristors. T1, T2. T1, T2 is the one pair of thyristors, and T3, T4 is the another pair of thyristors. The four thyristor is the connected form of bridge, and there is a source voltage Vs equal to Vm sin omega t, where Vm is the maximum voltage, sin is the sine wave, and omega is the angular frequency, t is the time period. So the source voltage equal to Vm sin omega t, and the load is connected across the bridge circuit. Here the load is the R load, resistance load. The output voltage is measured across the load, and output current is flowing through the load. So this is the circuit diagram. The anode of the T1 thyristor is connected to the source positive terminal, and anode of the and cathode of the T2 thyristor is connected to the negative terminal of the source. So this is the circuit diagram connection. This is the construction part of circuit diagram. So the full wave control converter, it convert and invert constant AC supply into the wide range of controllable DC output voltage. It converts and invert constant AC input supply voltage into wide range of controllable DC output voltage. That means here the conversion from AC to DC, and output voltage is the control. And next point is nothing but the range of controllable average output voltage is from negative 2 Vm by pi to positive 2 Vm by pi. Negative 2 Vm by pi to positive 2 Vm by pi. Minus 2 Vm by pi to 0 is the inversion operation. 0 to 2 Vm by pi is the conversion operation. These are the here two possible of conversion operation. Here minus 2 Vm by pi to 0 is inversion plus operation, and 0 to 2 Vm by pi is the conversion operation. The single phase full wave control converter. This is the circuit diagram, and this is also circuit diagram. The construction part consists of four thyristors in the arrangement form of bridge form, and the load across the output voltage will be controllable. Feed to AC supply through the bridge. The load may be resistive inductive or DC motor. The operation of single phase full wave control converter. During the positive half cycle, in this time period, the positive half cycle means you have to observe the supply source, the 0 to pi is the 0 to pi is the one positive half cycle, and pi to 2 pi is the negative half cycle. This is the one positive half cycle, one negative half cycle is the complete one cycle, and 2 pi to 3 pi is the one positive half cycle, 3 pi to 4 pi is the one other negative half cycle. This is the another complete one cycle. So this is the one cycle, two cycle, three cycle. Continuous flows through the circuit to load within 1 second. The 50 cycles is the passes through the circuit diagram. This is the supply voltage. During the positive half cycle, from 0 to pi, thyristor T1 and T2 start to conducting. Thyristor T1 and T2 start conducting. Why? Because here the T1 T2 is the positive with respect to the T1 is positive, the anode of the T1 is positive with respect to the cathode, and T2 cathode is negative with respect to cathode with respect to the anode. Then T1 T2 is the forward bias, the T1 T2 is the forward bias. So the T1 T2 is the forward bias, the T1 T2 is the start to conducting, T1 start to is the conducting, and T3 T4 is the reverse bias, T3 and T4 is the reverse bias. So the source voltage equal to load voltage. Here the thyristor is start conducting from 0 to pi. The thyristor start to conducting from 0 to pi. 0 to pi initially thyristor start conducting. Suppose firing pulses is given at firing angle of alpha. If firing pulses is applied to the T1 T2 thyristor through the gate terminal by using external firing circuit, we have to apply the firing pulses alpha at alpha time period. Then the thyristor T1 and T2 start conducting a delay angle of alpha. If there is no given the firing pulses to the thyristor T1 and T2, the thyristor is start conducting from alpha to 0 to pi during the forward bias condition, during the positive half cycle. During the positive half cycle, initially thyristor T1 and T2 start conducting from 0 to pi. If the firing pulses we have to apply thyristor T1 and T2, so the thyristor is start conducting a delay angle of alpha. The thyristor start conducting delay angle of alpha. So the source voltage equal to load voltage. So the load voltage, the total voltage drop across the resistance from alpha to pi. Yes, at the time period pi, thyristor T1 and T2 is the reverse bias. Why? Because the negative half cycle is the reaches here. During the negative half cycle, thyristor T1 and T2 is the reverse bias. Thyristor T3 and T4 is the forward bias. Why? Because here the T3 is anode is negative with respect to the cathode, and T4 is the cathode terminal is positive with respect to the anode. Then thyristor T3 and T4 is the forward bias, and T1 T2 is the reverse bias. In this condition, the source voltage equal to load voltage. So if the firing angle as alpha is applied by using the external firing circuits, the firing angle of alpha or firing pulses alpha is given to the SCR through the gate terminal. Then the SCR is start conducting a delay angle of alpha. T3 and T4 is start conducting a delay angle of alpha. So the source voltage equal to load voltage. So the output is produced. The output voltage drop across the resistance is nothing but pi plus alpha to 2 pi. This is the output voltage for T3 and during the T3 and T4 time period. Next at the 2 pi, next positive half cycle is the reaches. In this time interval, the thyristor T1 and T2 is start conducting. T3 and T4 is the reverse bias. Thyristor T1 and T2 is the forward bias. T3 and T4 is the reverse bias. So thyristor T1 and T3 is the forward bias. The thyristor start to conducting. At the 2 pi, the thyristor is the SCR is the reaches the positive half cycle. So T1 and T2 is the forward bias. The T1 and T2 is the start to conducting. And T3 and T4 is the reverse bias. T3 and T4 is the turn off, does not conducting. So if the firing pulse is applied here, the firing pulse is applied here at the time period of 2 pi plus alpha, at the time period of 2 pi plus alpha. At the time period of 2 pi plus alpha, firing pulse is applied, then the thyristor T1 and T2 start to conducting a delay angle of 2 pi plus alpha, 2 pi plus alpha. Then the thyristor start conducting from alpha to 3 pi. Thyristor start conducting from alpha to 2 pi plus alpha to 3 pi. Remains at the 3 pi, the negative half cycle is the reaches. At the 3 pi, the negative half cycle is the reaches. So during the negative half cycle, T3 and T4 is the forward bias, T1 and T2 is the reverse bias. That means that T1 T2 is the turn off, T3 and T4 is the start to conducting. T1 and T4 is the start to conducting, and T1 T2 is the turn off during the negative half cycle. If firing pulse is applied to the T3 and T4 through the gate terminal of T1 and T4, then the T3 and T4 start to conducting. The source is equal to load voltage. So during the negative half cycle, it is the clips the to positive, clips the positive side. So here we have to observe in this in this circuit, the anode, the negative terminal of the anode of the T3 is connected to the negative terminal, and cathode of the T4 terminal is connected to the positive terminal. Then it is the clips the output, negative terminal is clips to the positive, the negative terminal is clips to the positive. So then we have to obtain the output voltage on positive side, obtain the output voltage on positive side. So the during the positive half cycle is the positive half cycle output voltage, output side in the positive, and during the negative half cycle the output side is also positive. Why? Because here the clips the output voltage, the output voltage. So during the pi to pi plus alpha, during the pi to pi plus alpha, here thyristor does not conducting. The thyristor voltage drop across the SCR, thyristor drop voltage across the SCR. So in this time interval, SCR is does not conducting, does not conducting. Here we have to connect the resistance load. So the voltage, output voltage and output current or load current is the same. Why? Because here the load is resistance. There is no phase difference. There is no phase difference between the output voltage and output current. There is no phase difference. So the power factor is the cos pi equal to 0, cos pi is equal to 0 equal to 1, cos 0 equal to 1. So the power factor is the unity for resistance load. So the during the positive half cycle, the source voltage equal to load voltage, and load voltage equal to load current. Same current is flowing through the load from alpha to pi and pi plus alpha to 2 pi plus alpha to 2 pi. So we have to observe the theoretical part. During the positive half cycle, T1 and T2 is the forward bias, T3 and T4 is the reverse bias. T1 and T2 will be triggered when firing pulses is applied at given value of firing angle alpha, and T3 T2 is a start conducting short circuited, T3 T4 are the open circuited. Here we have to observe that T1 and T3 is the short circuit, that means closed, and T3 and T4 is the open circuited. Here is the both are the open. When during the positive half cycle, T1 and T2 is the closed circuit, that means short circuited, and T3 and T4 is the open circuited. T3 and T4 is the open circuited. Then the load is the directly connected to the T1 and T2 terminal. Then the source voltage equal to load voltage. And current flowing through the load is the I0. I0. So this is the during the positive half cycle. And during the negative half cycle, there is a T3 and T4 is the forward bias during the negative half cycle here. During the negative half cycle means the lower cycle is T3 and T4 is the forward bias, T1 and T2 is the reverse bias. Why? Because the anode of the T3 terminal is connected to the negative terminal of the source, and cathode of the positive terminal is connected to the direct source. So this is the during the negative half cycle. During the negative half cycle, positive half cycle, and during the negative half cycle, here this thyroid T3 and T4 are forward bias, T1 and T2 are reverse bias during the negative half cycle. T3 T4 will be triggered when firing pulses is applied at omega t plus phi during the T3 and T4. T3 and T4 is triggered. T3 and T4 is a trigger at pi plus alpha at is a triggered. Why? Because we have to control the output voltage. So the source voltage equal to load voltage. At the 2 pi, the T3 and T4 is the reverse bias. At the 2 pi, T3 and T4 is the reverse bias. Why? Because here the positive half cycle is the reaches. So at the pi plus alpha, and T1 and T2 act as a open circuit, T3 T4 as a short circuit during the negative half cycle. During the negative half cycle, T3 and T4 is a short circuited, T1 and T2 is a open circuited. So the source voltage equal to load voltage. The load is directly connected to T3 and T4 across the source voltage. So source voltage equal to load voltage, but here the output voltage is the clip to the positive. So the current flowing through the load also in phase to each other. So this is the negative half cycle. During the negative half cycle, so then during the positive half cycle, T1 and T2 is the start to conducting, and T3 T4 is the does not conducting. During the negative half cycle, T3 and T4 is the start to conducting, T1 T2 is the does not conducting. Next, this is the complete one cycle. Next half cycle, the positive half cycle is the reaches. So the T1 is the T2 start conducting, and during negative half cycle, T3 and T4 is the start to conducting. So this process is the continuous within 1 second in 50 cycle. So the output voltage is equal to output current for the resistive load. The same output current during the positive half cycle. There is a T1 and T2 is the forward bias, T3 T4 is the reverse bias. So the T1 and T2 is the start conducting, that means the short circuited. T3 T4 is the reverse bias, that means this is the open circuited. So source voltage equal to load voltage equal to load current. For resistance load, there is no angle between the voltage and current, output voltage and output current. Both are the in phase to each other. So this is the principal operation of SCR, principal operation of fully controlled converter. During the negative half cycle, at the omega 2 pi, as source voltage equal to 0, it become positive. The T3 and T4 are the reverse bias, and T3 T4 will be turned off by natural commutated. The same operation will be repeated for subsequent cycle of supply source. So fully control converter, full wave control converter, it is observed that the load current is unidirectional for both half cycle of supply voltage. The output voltage is also unidirectional, that is the DC supply. This is the output waveform. For these circuits. So So what is the average output voltage? What is the average output voltage? What is the average output voltage of full wave control converter with resistance load? From the waveform, the average output voltage, the time period is alpha to pi. The time period is nothing but alpha to pi, and output voltage magnitude is nothing but maximum output voltage. Maximum output. What is the value of this output voltage? What is the value of this output voltage? So the output voltage is equal to 1 by 2 pi. The complete cycle we have to take in every waveform. For calculation of output voltage, we have to consider the complete cycle. So 1 by 2 pi, the integration of alpha to 2 pi, complete cycle, alpha to 2 pi. So the Vs d omega t, Vs d omega t, or the output voltage equal to 1 by pi alpha to pi. We have to take in the only one cycle here, alpha to pi or alpha to 2 pi. So we have taken the only one cycle, alpha to pi, Vs d omega t. Vs equal to Vm sin omega t d omega t. So the Vm is the common for the constant, and integration of sin omega t into d omega t is equal to minus cos omega t, minus cos omega t. So here alpha to pi is the time interval, alpha to pi is the time interval. The average output voltage equal to 1 by 2 pi. We have to take in the complete one cycle from alpha to 1 by 2 pi, complete one cycle, 1 by 2 pi complete cycle. That is the one positive half cycle, one is the negative half cycle. So complete one cycle from 0 to 2 pi is called a complete one cycle. So we have to take in the 1 by 2 pi and alpha to pi or alpha to 2 pi. Either you have to take in the this value, or V out equal to 1 by pi. We have to take the only half cycle, that is the positive half cycle or negative half cycle. That means alpha to pi, alpha to pi, alpha to pi period is taken. So the 1 by pi equal to alpha to pi Vs d omega t, Vs equal to d omega t. So 1 by t Vm by pi, the integration of sin omega t into d omega t equal to minus cos omega t. Then we have to substitute the value of upper limit and lower limit in this equation. The minus cos omega t in the at the place of omega t equal to pi, at the place of omega t equal to alpha. So minus cos omega t plus or minus cos omega, cos alpha. So output voltage equal to Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha. Output voltage Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha. So output voltage equal to 2 Vm by pi by at the 0 degree, alpha equal to 0. If alpha equal to 0, 2 Vm by pi, cos alpha equal to cos 0 equal to 1. So 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So 2 Vm by pi. If alpha equal to pi by 2, that means alpha equal to 90 degrees. Alpha equal to 90 degrees. That means cos 90 equal to 0. So Vm by pi. Suppose the alpha equal to pi, that means alpha equal to pi means alpha equal to 180 degrees. If 180 degrees, the cos of 90 plus 90, that means is the 0. That is that value equal to 0. This value for the 0. So the average output current equal to average output current. That means we have to increasing the firing angle of alpha. The output voltage will be decreases. Output voltage equal to decreases. Output voltage is the decreases. So the average load current and average output current is equal to V out by R. Output voltage by resistance. So output current is equal to output voltage by resistance. The Vm by pi R 1 plus cos alpha. Output equal to Vm by pi R 1 plus cos alpha. This is the average output voltage and average current for single phase full wave control converter with resistance load. So the output power equal to P out equal to V naught into I naught. And turn off time period of SCR, turn off time period of circuit is nothing but the pair of thyristors T1 and T2 and T3 and T4 are reverse bias for pi radian alternatively. At the pi radian, The SC T1 and T2 and T3 and T4 is a reverse bias for pyridine alternate way. Hence the circuit turn off time is given by circuit's turn off time is given by Tc is equal to pi by omega second, pi by omega second. So this is the turn off time period. Pi by omega is the turn off time period. So this is the output waveform. This is the output waveform. Output waveform for output voltage and load current, and this is the firing pulses and supply voltage. Supply voltages. We have to draw it. In each pair of thyristors, the T1, T2 thyristor and T3, T4 thyristor, at a time two thyristors start to conducting during the positive half cycle. So here firing pulse is applied. If firing pulse is applied for controlling of output voltage, for controlling of output electrical energy. So pulse is given, the output voltage is the controllable. Output voltage is the controllable. You have to observe the output voltage in waveform. So 0 to alpha time period there is no does not conducting the thyristor. Why? Because here pulse is applied, the thyristor T1 T2 start conducting, the source voltage equal to load voltage. At the pi to pi plus alpha, here next half cycle, during the next half cycle the next pair of thyristors start to conducting, that is T3 and T4 is a start conducting and T1 T2 is a naturally completed. T1 T3 that reaches the next half cycle positive, the negative half cycle. So that are both are the turn off. T3 T4 is the turn on at the pi plus alpha. So the thyristor start conducting pi plus alpha to 2 pi, pi plus alpha to 2 pi. Remains 2 pi to 2 pi plus alpha is the 0. Output voltage is the 0. Output voltage is the 0. So the source voltage equal to load voltage. Source voltage equal to load voltage, and output voltage equal to output current. Output voltage equal to output current.
Daddy, నాకు బుక్స్ తెచ్చినావా? డాడీ నాకు బుక్ తెచ్చావా?
So the value of output voltage equal to Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha. Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha. This is the average output voltage and this is the average output current. Average output current equal to Vm by pi r 1 plus cos alpha. Average output current equal to I naught is equal to V naught by r. And this is the output waveform, and this is the during the negative half cycle of supply. For circuit diagram, in negative half cycle thyristor T3 and T4 start conducting, T1 and T2 is the natural commutated. You have to note down this is a complete circuit. This is a complete circuit diagram for the single phase full wave control converter with resistive load. Single phase full wave control converter with resistive load. This is a circuit diagram. 4 thyristors and resistance and source voltage. This is the circuit diagram for during the positive half cycle supply. Thyristor T1 and T2 start conducting, T3 and T4 is the does not conducting. T1 and T2 is a forward bias, T3 and T4 is a reverse bias. So T1 and T2 is a closed circuit, T3 T4 is a open circuited. During the positive half cycle. this circuit for the during the negative half cycle. During the negative half cycle, T1 and T2 is the naturally commutated, T3 T4 is the forward bias, T1 T2 is the reverse bias. Thus means T1 and T2 is the open circuited, T3 and T4 is the short circuited. T3 and T4 is the short circuited. So the source is equal to load voltage. If firing pulses is applied, then thyristor start conducting a delay angle of alpha. Thyristor start conducting a delay angle of alpha. So here, during the positive half cycle, thyristor T1 T2 forward bias, T3 T4 is the reverse bias. So T1 and T2 is the short circuited, T3 T4 is the open circuited. During the negative half cycle, T3 T4 is the start to conducting, that means it is the forward bias, T3 T4 T1 and T2 is the reverse bias. During the negative half cycle, T3 T4 is the forward bias, T1 T2 is the reverse bias. So T3 and T4 is short circuited, T1 and T2 is the open circuited. So during the negative half cycle, the source will equal to load voltage. So a summary: the load current is I0 is unidirectional for both half cycle of supply voltage. The load current is unidirectional, that is the output voltage, and output voltage is a DC for the both half cycle, and the output voltage also the unidirectional, that is this is also the DC output voltage. This is output current and DC output voltage unidirectional. Is the average DC output voltage V out is equal to the average DC output voltage V out is equal to of single phase fully controlled converter with resistance load equal to V naught equal to Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha. The average DC output current equal to I naught equal to V naught by R. So here the V naught equal to Vm by pi and 1 plus cos alpha by R. That means I naught is equal to Vm by pi R into 1 plus cos alpha. As the firing angle of alpha is increases, the average DC output voltage will be decreases. The firing angle of alpha is increases, the DC output voltage will be decreases. The controllable range of average DC output voltage is from 0 to 2 Vm by pi. The control range of average DC output voltage is from 0 to 2 Vm by pi. The quiz questions. The total number of thyristors is required for single phase fully controlled converters are. The total number of thyristors is required for single phase fully controlled converter are. How many thyristors is there in single phase fully controlled converter? The total number of thyristors for single phase fully controlled converter are: option A is 1, option B is 2, option B is 3, option D is 4. The answer is option D. The 4 thyristor is there. We have to observe in single phase fully controlled converter circuits. Here this is the fully controlled converter circuit. The fully controlled converter circuits here. How many thyristors is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 thyristor. So here the option D is correct answer. Next question. The average current through a pure resistance load in single phase fully controlled converter expressed by the average output current through the pure resistance load. How much current will be flows through the pure resistance load? The output voltage and output current also we have, well, the magnitude of output voltage and the magnitude of output current also we have to measured by using the output voltage and current waveform. So from this waveform we have to, what is the value of option A equal to V out by R and Vm by pi R 1 plus cos alpha, Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha, or both A and B. Which option is the correct? Both option A and option B are correct answer. Option A or option B is the correct answer. Why? Because output current equal to V naught by R or Vm by pi R 1 plus cos alpha. V naught by R or Vm by pi R 1 plus cos alpha. Why? Because we have to observe the output equation of output current equal to I naught equal to Vm by R or Vm by pi R 1 plus cos alpha. These both expressions are the correct. Both equations are the correct. So these both equations are the mentioned in this questions. So both are the option D is the correct answer. Both A and A or B. Option D is the correct answer. Both A and B. Both A or BN. This is the correct answer. It is clear or not? Next question. Question number 3rd. The maximum value of average DC output voltage across pure resistance load of single phase fully controlled converter is. The maximum average DC output voltage anta. Maximum average DC output voltage. The maximum DC output voltage. The maximum DC output voltage means how much? When the alpha equal to 0. The maximum output voltage when it can be applicable, alpha equal to 0. If there is no firing angle of alpha, we can't apply any firing angle of alpha. That means if alpha equal to increases, the output voltage is the decreases. So the alpha value is the decreases from 180 to 0. That means if alpha equal to 0, the output voltage equal to the cos alpha is the 0, cos alpha 0 is equal to 1. So the 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So the 2Vm by pi. So the option A is the correct answer. Option A is the correct answer. The maximum value of average DC output voltage across pure resistance load of single phase fully controlled converter is 2Vm by pi. This is the output. Next question. The value of the average DC output voltage across pure resistance load for single phase fully controlled converter when alpha equal to 60 degree. So the alpha equal to 60 degree means we have to alpha equal to 60 we have to applied in average output voltage equation. The average output voltage equation is the average output voltage equation. Alpha equal to 60. Alpha equal to 60 means how much? Alpha equal to 60 means how much? Alpha equal to 60. Alpha equal to 60 means cos 60. Cos 60 equal to how much? Cos 60. So cos 60 value here we have to apply here. Then 1 plus V naught equal to Vm by pi. V naught equal to Vm by pi. V naught equal to Vm by pi. So the cos 60 equal to how much? 1 by 2 and 1 by root 2, 3 root by 2. So 1 by 2 is a cos 60. 1 by 2 means 0.54 or 0.6 r. So cos 60 value equal to how much? Root 3 by 2 or root 1 by 2 now? 1 by 2 now. 1 by root 3 by 2 ante. So substitute the value of cos 60 here. Then you have to calculate the value of output voltage. Next question. The controllable range of output voltage across a pure resistance load of single phase fully controlled converter is. The controllable range of DC output voltage across pure resistance load of single phase fully controlled converter is. The controllable range means minus 2 Vm by pi to plus 2 m by pi. So option D is the correct answer here. This is the important questions. First question is what is the function of single phase fully controlled converter, and second question is explain the working of single phase fully controlled converter with neat waveform for the resistive load, and third question is derive the expression for the average DC output voltage, average output current, load current for single phase fully controlled converter for resistance load. These are the three questions. This is the most important working principle and average output voltage and average output current measurement. These are two equations. This is the already we have to explain the clearly. We have to read once again and prepare them. Read well and prepare well. Okay. Thank you.